Hello, class, and welcome back to 5-Minute Physiology. We are starting to dip into the systems of the body, the muscular system here. I really love AI. I try to get very creative with this one and get a rendition of something colorful involving muscle contraction and electrolytes here. And I also wanted to throw in a little bit of the Da Vinci's Vitruvian Man, and there's a little bit of a representation in there. Also with muscular contraction in the middle of it. Kind of neat what it comes up with. So here we go. So some mnemonics for muscle fiber types. Some people can remember this already, but I actually really like these. There's been some goofy ones out there for some of the prior lectures, but the slow red ox, very commonly used, really popular because it works. Slow twitch, red fibers full of myoglobin, oxidative metabolism, basically meaning aerobic. And some people are like, type 1 fibers, that's lame. I work out at the gym. I need my type 2 fibers. That's what's important. Well, I wouldn't mess around with this slow red ox or that one, right? Chinese New Year, the year of the ox. So good way to remember type 1. Type 2, right? Fast for force or the fast white gly. Fast twitch white fibers and glycotic. I am certainly not a fast white guy. I did run track when I was in high school, but I was a slow white guy. These are examples of fast white guys. I encourage you to read more about them if you are interested. But that's type 2. All right, on to muscle. This one's a classic one. A lot of people have used this. Zahir is a hungry man. Your Z lines, right? It looks like the letter Z. I, that only contains a thin, right? Actin is right in there. The A bands contain both. The H is not included here. Now it is right there in the middle there. And then your M line straight down the middle. Now, I have searched far and wide to find a good mnemonic for muscle contraction, and there's just nothing good out there to illustrate all these different steps that go on with muscle contraction. I asked Microsoft this time, not AI, to give me some icons that relate to each of these steps. And when I got calcium, well, they gave me a kidney. Okay, fine. Troponin, tropomyosin. All right, there's some DNA. I have no idea why we have a syringe here. Maybe it thinks tropomyosin means anabolic steroids. Anyway, these are the different steps that happens, and there's just not a good one out there. I played around with some. I scoured the internet for others. These don't quite fit. They're not great. I want to ask you if you have a good one, because I want to teach it to my students, something that just nails it with each step. And ideally something that pulls in some of the wording, like calcium for cats instead of crazy. That doesn't quite fit. Troponin, something about trope or troop. And tropomyosin, that's a hard one to get. There's not really a good word that fits all these. But if you have one, let me know. Put it in the comments. I would love to know it. Okay, let's move on to some fun and interesting principles that are great learning points to remember as you move on in your career. Henneman size principle, right? Some people are just gym rats and all they do is lift weights. They don't think of aerobic exercise. Well, the only way to access your type 2X and 2B is to go through your type 1s first. As you increase the weight and increase the force, you're going to start to recruit more and more fibers, but you got to recruit 100% of type 1 before you start getting into the type 2. Same thing though, the other way. Some people don't like to lift weights. They would rather just do aerobic exercise and do interval training. Well, the higher you increase your exercise intensity, the similar stepwise fashion you go from type 1 to type 2 to type 2B. Same thing. By the way, if you have gone through this, for example, running a marathon is a classic example, but anything that requires hours of effort, a mud run, obstacle race, you'll eventually exhaust out your type 1s and have to rely on type 2A, and then finally at the very end of the race, type 2B. And these are not suited for endurance and running, and you're just literally plodding away. It almost feels like you're doing muscle contractions and leg presses every time you run, because you really only got the type 2Bs left. These are tapped out. It's very interesting when you think about that. All right, another really neat concept to understand. The slower you lift that weight, the more force you are going to generate, right? If you just throw the weight right up in a faster velocity concentrically, your force production actually goes down because you're using momentum. Same thing with eccentrics or eccentrics, if you're going to use the purest pronunciation. As you slowly lower that weight down, the slower you can resist that gravity, the higher the force you are producing. So it's a really neat thing when you think about this force velocity. And right there, when you stop moving concentrically, you're no longer able to concentrically contract. It'll start to back up and come back down, and then you're going to go eccentrically that way. All right, I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next one.